Well, thanks everybody. Welcome. If you're going to file for benefits early and you're still working, you're probably going to get hit by the earnings test. And that's going to reduce your benefits if you earn over certain thresholds. And earnings counts as anything you earn on a W-2 or self-employment income. It does not include earnings from your portfolio or distributions for retirement accounts. It's just things you earn by working. And there's a couple of tiers. If you claim benefits younger than your full retirement age, Social Security is going to withhold benefits, $1 for every $2 you earn over the threshold limit, which for this year is $15,720. In the year that you reach your full retirement age, they're a little more generous. The reduction is smaller, so it's only $1 for every $3 you earn over the limit, and the limit is much higher at $41,880. In the month that you reach your full retirement age, the earnings test is gone, and there's no reduction and no limit to the earnings. Now, Social Security doesn't consider this a penalty because your benefits are not permanently reduced. It's just withheld. But if Social Security has withheld $30,000 worth of your benefits while you were working, they don't send you a check for $30,000 once you hit your full retirement age. They recalculate your benefit and send you that slightly higher benefit over the rest of your life. So in general, if you're still working, you probably don't want to file for benefits early. For all of the issues facing the Social Security system, it does do some things really well, and protecting people from the effects of inflation is one of those things. Social Security has an automatic increase for inflation every year based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, the CPIW, for the previous year. Now, the increase actually takes place in December, but you don't get it until your January check. Social Security pays in arrears because they want to make sure you actually survive the whole month before they pay you for it. Now, the cost of living adjustments are a big deal because it helps keep your buying power current with dollars. In a few years, you could be paying $9 for a gallon of gas, and if your income is not keeping up, it's really going to start to squeeze you as time goes by. The cost of living adjustments start accruing at age 62, even if you're not collecting benefits. And you can see some of the historical averages for the increases. The automatic increases started in 1975, and the average increase since then has been about 4% because the inflation of the 70s and 80s was pretty high. The increases over the past 20 years have been a lot smaller, averaging about 2.5% because inflation's been much, much tamer. And it's interesting to note there was no increase for both 2010 and 2011, and that was due to the housing market crash during that time. There's no adjustment if the percentage is negative. Now, this is one of the most important decisions that you're going to make, when to take benefits. And most people know that if you take your benefits early, they're going to be reduced, and if you wait, they're going to be increased. Social Security uses both the carrot and the stick to help you decide what you're going to do. If you take retirement, spousal, or survivor benefits early, the early retirement reduction is going to reduce your benefits. And even though that reduction is big and it's permanent, 68% of Americans still take their benefits before their full retirement age. We're going to look at the retirement benefits first, and this chart is for someone whose retirement age is 66. If you take your benefit at 66, your full retirement age, you get 100% of your primary insurance amount. That's what your primary insurance amount is. If you take it at 62, they'll cut your benefit by 25% so that you're only getting 75% of your primary insurance amount. If your full retirement age is 67, the cut is even worse. You're only going to get 70% of your primary insurance amount. And that reduction is permanent. And there are other consequences to taking your benefits early. There's a nasty thing called deeming rules, where Social Security says if you claim your benefits early, they look at all of the benefits that you're eligible for and cut them all. And that can also prevent you from doing some of the special claiming strategies that we're going to talk about a little bit later. So claiming early, bad, right? Well, it depends. There are some situations where it can make sense to claim early, and one of those might be if you have health concerns that might impact your longevity, or you're not concerned about providing a survivor benefit for someone. If there's a large age difference between spouses, or if there are children in the home that could qualify for a benefit if a parent filed, those might be reasons that you file early. So the answer to almost every Social Security question is it depends, because it depends on the facts and circumstances of your own decision. So this is the carrot. Delayed retirement credits are a wonderful benefit. Your benefits are increased for every month you delay taking benefits beyond your full retirement age, and it's a whopping 8% per year, and it's permanent. So the same chart with our full retirement age of 66, if they wait until age 70, their benefit goes up to 132% of their primary insurance amount. That's 4 years times 8% a year. It's simple interest, it's not compounded. But your benefit will actually be a little bit higher because it's getting those cost of living adjustments as time goes on. If your full retirement age is 67, it's not quite such a good deal because you only get 3 years of delayed retirement credits because your full retirement age is a year later. So your max benefit is going to be 124% of your primary insurance amount. But this is a huge benefit if you can afford to wait. Because to do this, you're going to need cash flow from somewhere else because you're not going to be getting benefits during that period. And that's why most Americans don't wait. In 2012, only 2% of Americans waited until age 70 to file for benefits. Timing is everything. This chart puts it all together. To show your overall benefit, if you wait from 62, the earliest you can claim, to age 70, which is the max benefit that you can get, your benefit will be 76% higher. Now, waiting to claim benefits is the single largest thing you can do to increase your benefit. If you've been a high earner, if you work an additional year, your benefit will increase about $30 a year. If you delay a year, your benefit will increase about $2,500 a year. That's a big difference. If you delay 4 years, your benefit can be over $10,000 a year higher. Not just for your life, but for your spouse's life if they'll be taking your survivor benefit. And survivor benefits are really a women's issue because statistically women live longer, and right now 80% of survivor benefits are paid to women. So this can be a really important consideration for couples, especially if one spouse has earned significantly more than the other. Now this is the same chart, but adding in spousal benefits. Remember that the benefit that the spouse gets is based on the primary insurance amount of the worker. You get 50% of the worker's primary insurance amount if you claim at your full retirement age. But if you claim early, that's going to get cut. And if your full retirement age is 66, and you claim at 62, you're only going to get 35% of the primary insurance amount. It gets even worse if your full retirement age is 67. You're only going to get 32.5%. And notice that the spousal is flat after the full retirement age. The spousal benefit does not get that delayed retirement credit of 8% per year, so there's no reason to delay your spousal benefit after your full retirement age. The same thing with the worker benefit. There's no increase after age 70. So you should never wait to take your benefits past age 70 unless you're interested in making a donation to the United States government. The last two reductions only come into play if you qualify for Social Security, but you're also getting a pension from a job where you didn't pay into Social Security. And this is what Jake was talking about. If you've got zeros in your Social Security wage column on your earnings record, but you actually did earn something. And this is really common with teachers that have CalSTRS pensions or police officers, firefighters that have CalPERS pensions. The windfall elimination provision will cut your retirement benefit, and the government pension offset will reduce your spousal or your survivor benefit. And the theory behind this is if you didn't pay into Social Security all of those years, it's not fair for you to get a full benefit. Now, this only applies to government pensions where you did not pay into Social Security. It doesn't apply to private pensions if you're getting one from American Airlines or Kaiser or something like that. So if you do fall into that category, be aware that that is going to affect your benefits. Now we've talked about when can I claim, what can I claim, but the big question is when should I claim? And this is where we get into the fun stuff. In this strategy, you file for your retirement benefit, but then you immediately suspend. So you're not getting benefits, but you're not getting payments, but your benefit is getting that delayed retirement credit, so it's growing. You must have reached your full retirement age to use this strategy. And what it does for a couple is that it allows the higher earner or the older earner, that's usually who's going to do the file and suspend, it allows them to maximize their benefit, but it enables their spouse to file for a spousal benefit. So even though you're bypassing that income from your own retirement benefit, you're getting something coming in during those years where you're delaying your benefit, and that's the spousal that's coming in. Now, this strategy is also useful for single people that aren't concerned about a survivor benefit, but want to maximize their own benefit. When you file with Social Security, it stops the clock. When you have suspended your benefits, you can change your mind at any time and go back to the time that you filed and request a lump sum payment for all of those suspended benefits. So if you have suspended, but you change your mind or you have an emergency situation where you need the money, you can get your lump sum payment, and then your benefits going forward will be that lower amount as if you had just taken your benefits at the beginning. So let's look at our first case study and see how file and suspend meet the cleavers. Now here, Ward has been the higher earner, and he's got a primary insurance amount of $2,000. June doesn't have 40 credits, so she doesn't qualify for a benefit. At their full retirement age, Ward can file and suspend, and that enables June to file a spousal benefit. June files at her full retirement age, so she gets 50% of Ward's primary insurance amount. She's going to get $1,000 a month. Ward's not getting anything at this point. At age 70, Ward starts getting his benefits, and he's gotten the max he can. He's got 132% of his $2,000 primary insurance amount. So he's getting $2,640 a month. June continues her spousal benefit. Now, if Ward passes away, June's now eligible for two benefits, and she gets the choice of whichever's higher. So she's going to switch from the spousal benefit to the survivor benefit. And that's what Jake was talking about. Social Security doesn't call you up and say, hey, you can get a couple $1,000s a month more. You have to call them and tell them. Now, the advantage of this is that Ward has maximized his benefit, and June could live a really long time. The statistics on longevity that Mike was talking about, for a couple that's age 65 today, there's almost a 50% chance that one of them is going to live to be 90. So June could be getting this maximum benefit for a really long time. Now, the next strategy is called a restricted application. And this is where you file a claim, not for your own retirement benefits, but for just your spousal benefits. So your own retirement benefit is getting that delayed retirement credit of 8% per year. To do this strategy, you must have reached your full retirement age, and your spouse must have filed for benefits. Now, they don't have to actually be getting benefits, and that's where this works really well with file and suspend. And you can also use this strategy to get benefits on your ex-spouse. So let's look at our case study. File and suspend and restricted application works really well if you've had two high-earning couples. So here we have Bill and Hillary, high earners, and they both have high primary insurance amounts. At full retirement age, Bill is going to file and suspend because he's older, and that enables Hillary to get a restricted application and get 50% of Bill's primary insurance amount. So that's money that's coming in while she's delaying her benefit. So both of their benefits are getting the delayed retirement credits. When they hit age 70, Bill turns on his benefit, and he gets $3,300 a month. He's maxed out his benefit. Hillary now is eligible for two. She can continue her spousal, or she can switch to her own retirement benefit, which is also maxed out. And so, again, she calls Social Security, and now they're getting a huge amount. And that carries over to the survivor benefit. If Bill dies, Hillary has the choice of whichever's higher, so she'll stick with her retirement benefit because it's higher. But if Hillary dies, Bill will switch to Hillary's survivor benefit. So over the course of the lifetime, they have maximized their benefits, and that's a terrific strategy for married couples to coordinate their benefits and get the highest lifetime benefits available. And here we've got the Eastwood family. And it was actually hard to find a celebrity that had several ex-wives that had met all the requirements of being married longer than 10 years. But Clint is the higher earner, and he's got a primary insurance amount of $2,400. And he's got two ex-wives that meet the requirements. Married at least 10 years, still single. Maggie has an $800 PIA, and Dina has a $1,000 PIA. At their full retirement age, Maggie and Dina both get to file restricted applications to get 50% of Clint's benefit. There's no limit to the number of exes that can file on one person's record. And that doesn't affect Clint's record at all. He doesn't even know that they're filing on his record. Now here, Clint does get to file a restricted application on his ex-wives. So they can do that cross benefits on each other. And so Clint has his choice of ex-wives to pick from, and so he picks Dina because she's got the higher PIA. And that $500 a month is really going to help tide him over until he can switch to his own higher benefit. So at age 70, Maggie has her choice of sticking with the spousal or switching to her own retirement benefit. And her spousal is higher even with the delayed retirement credits that her retirement benefit got, so she'll stick with the spousal. But Dina's retirement benefit is now higher because it got those 8% a year delayed retirement credits. So she's going to switch to the retirement benefit. Clint, of course, is going to switch to his retirement benefit because it's significantly higher than the spousal that he was getting. Now, if Clint dies, both of the ex-wives can get 100% of his survivor benefit. Now, if you're sitting out there going, oops, I've already filed for benefits. What can I do? There may be a couple of things you can do if you decide that that was not the right decision for you. If you're within 12 months of your original claim, you can do a strategy called the do-over, and you withdraw your benefits as if you'd never filed in the first place. The downside is that you have to pay back all of the benefits that you got. And if your spouse claimed benefits on your record, you have to pay back the spousal benefits too. If it's been more than a year since your original claim, you can wait until your full retirement age and do the start, stop, start. When you get to your full retirement age, you suspend your benefits. It's a form of file and suspend, and then you can start your benefits again at age 70. During the time that you're suspended, you get the delayed retirement credits. Now, the advantage of this strategy is that you don't have to pay back all the benefits that you got. But because you claimed your benefits early, you did get that permanent reduction of the early retirement reduction, so your benefit's never going to be as high as it could have been, but at least it's higher. Oh my gosh, we made it through the maze of Social Security rules and regulations. So now what do? You think about the role that Social Security is going to play in your retirement plan. And it's really common for people to think of Social Security as an account. That's my money in it, and I want to get it before the bank fails. Or they think of it as a break-even proposition. If I delay, I'm giving up $25,000 a year, and I have to live 12 years to break even. And that can make you tend to claim earlier when that may not be the best decision for your situation. But if you think of Social Security as insurance, and that's why they call your benefit your primary insurance amount, because it is longevity insurance, then it can make it easier to think of the benefits of delaying. Social Security is longevity insurance because the worst case scenario in retirement is not dying, it's living past your savings. And Social Security provides an inflation-adjusted benefit for your lifetime that's guaranteed by the U.S. government. You can't buy a product like that on the market. And what that costs you is you delaying your benefits for a few years. I also encourage you to go online to the Social Security website. You can form an account, check out your statement, find out what your primary insurance amount is, and run some scenarios and see if you can figure out what your benefits might be. Understand your options, and this is where your advisor or, call me, this is what I do, can help you figure out what options that you have. And you can develop a strategy to optimize your benefits. Then you're ready to call Social Security. If you call the 800 number, the reps are really overwhelmed by the amount of calls, and they're supposed to handle your call in 4 minutes. So their goal is to get you off the phone. You'll have better luck if you call the local field office number or go in for a visit. But the best way is to go into Social Security when you're ready to file with written down, this is what I want to do. And you have to use the terminology that Social Security uses so they understand what you're talking about. Now, the bottom line is Social Security will give you information, but they won't give you advice. But we will give you advice. So use our resources and let us help you make the best of your Social Security decisions.